Hello, my dear students. My name is Hanna. I'm a Russian teacher for foreigners, and today we are going to work on the next part, and we will learn today with you conjugations. It will be part 2. So, I propose to do one small exercise. We have already discussed what conjugation means, how to conjugate verbs, like basic things we have already discussed with you, and I want to check how you understood it correctly. So here you can see a text. By the way, this text helped me GPT chat to create it. Maybe you know what is it. If you don't know, you can check on the internet. So, and right now your task will be to find all verbs that you can see here. So pause this video and try to find these verbs. I remind you that it can be different endings, yeah, because we change verbs depends on the pronoun. So, and after we will check. I hope that you have already done this exercise, and I propose to check this task. So here you can see I highlighted verbs in this text, and here we can find the verb умею, я умею. Я умею means like I can. So here we have ending you, and it means that it is conjugation. Говорить, to speak. Говорить here it is infinitive form because it is ending t. Говорить. The next, я живу. So живу means I live. Here we have ending u, it is ending to the pronoun I. The next, я работаю, ending you, so it is ending of the conjugation I. Я пишу, I write, я пишу. Я использую, I use, я использую. The next, я говорю, yeah, the same, я использую. Понимать. Понимать means to understand, so it is infinitive. I remind you, infinitive it is when the verb ends on t. Мне говорят, ending яд, and this is ending of what pronoun? Can you remember? Yeah, it is pronoun они говорят, but here we skip it because we sometimes say мне говорят, что я красивый, for example. And we mean that somebody, but in plural, we say that people say that I'm beautiful. So мне говорят, it is like a construction. И отвечать. Отвечать means to answer. So, if you didn't find all verbs, it's okay. We are learning. I remind you, and I will remind you every time that to make mistakes, it's absolutely okay. And we are learning here, and I'm here to help you to understand difficult grammar topics, but in easy way. Let's go to the next exercise. So, in this text, we see very interesting verb, the verb говорить, right? And we have discussed with you already conjugation, but we spoke about the first group of conjugation. If you didn't watch this video, I will share with you a link under this video. So please check it before watching this video. And the verb говорить is very interesting because it seems that it is not the first group of conjugation, because if you look here, I wrote for you the conjugations, so the ending, and they are a little bit different. It's not like the first group of conjugation. If you don't remember what is this, the first group, please check the previous video. So right now, even if you don't know what does it mean, the second group of conjugation, you can just guess. On the left, I wrote for you pronouns, and on the right, it is conjugation. Your task will be to match pronoun with a verb. I give you some minutes, so pause this video and we will check. So the verb говорить means to speak. Я говорю, ты говоришь, он, она говорит, мы говорим, вы говорите, они говорят. So, you can ask me, Hannah, what is the difference between the first and the second group of conjugation? Let's figure out it. So here I remind you, we have discussed with you the verb читать in the previous video. This is the ending of the first group of conjugation. And this is ending of the second group of conjugation. So what is the difference? Can you find this difference? Yeah, here we have most of endings yeah. For example, он читает, мы читаем, вы читаете. Here we have more и. Ты говоришь, он говорит, мы говорим, вы говорите. So probably when you speak, there is no a big difference and you will hear most of time I. But when you write, on your writing, for sure will be difference. So, the first and the second group of conjugation, the difference is between endings. So, the first group, this is endings, and the second group. Pay your attention, они читают, они говорят. So here ют, but here ят. Also, it's possible to have conjugation ut, not ют only, but we will speak about this later. And они говорят, so here ят, but it is also possible to say sometimes at ending. When and how we will discuss a little bit later. So, your task to remember all these endings. And you can ask me, Hannah, how we can understand that this verb is the second group and this verb is the first group of conjugation. So, as we can see, the verb читать has ending at. So ending at relates to the first group of conjugation. But the verb говорить, it, we have ending it. So ending it relates to the second group of conjugation. Probably it's easy, but when we go deeply to this topic, it is not always easy because there are some tricky moments and we will discuss them. So the first group, группа 1, normally has ending at, as we have discussed. Also, it is possible yet, like pet, like to sing, pet. For example, ты поешь очень хорошо. You sing very well. Like you sing perfect. And sometimes от. So if you see a verb, you look at the infinitive and it ends on at, yet, от, it will be the first group of conjugation and you have to change the verb like the verb читать. So all this ending will be to the first group of conjugation. But if you see that the verb has ending it, like говорить, to speak, говорить, and some other verbs, so normally it is ending it, but we also have some exceptions. I have decided not to write all of them. I have decided to write just the most common, but later I will create for you new videos and we will discuss more exceptions for sure. So here with this small star, I wrote just exceptions, because here you see ending yet and at, and normally it should be the first group, but it is exception. You have just to learn that this verb you have to conjugate as the second group of conjugation. So it happens. Russian language, English language, and all languages, it's not only about rules, it's about exceptions, sorry. So there are some verbs like видеть, to see, ненавидеть, to hate when you don't like something, смотреть, to watch, да, смотреть фильм, смотреть сериал, смотреть в окно, to watch in the window. The next, бежать, to run, и спать, to sleep. So for this moment, you just have to understand the main difference, that the first group has ending at, yet, ot, and the second group has ending it. But there are some exceptions I have written here. Also, there are more, but normally at, yet, ot, it is the first group of conjugation. So let's check how you understood me correctly. For example, if you see a verb and it ends on yet, is it the first or the second group of conjugation? Yes, it is the first group of conjugation. So yet. Yet is the first group of conjugation. If the verb ends on it, is it the first or the second? The second, it's like говорить. And all endings will be like here. Okay, and if verb has ending ot, is it the first or the second? It is the first group of conjugation, and you have to conjugate it like the verb читать. Okay? So for this it's okay, maybe if you have some questions, if you don't understand something, it's okay, we are learning, and at the end of this video you will understand it better for sure. Just one thing that I wanted to tell you. So when we speak about ending u or u, as I said, it's sometimes possible to say, when we speak about personal pronoun я, it's possible to have two endings, u or u. And you can ask me when I have to write u and when I have to write u. Normally, after vowel, you have to write u. For example, я читаю. So in the verb читать, читаа, it is vowel. Yeah, vowels, you can sing them. A, o, u, e, I, it is vowel. And after vowel, you have to write u. Я читаю, я пою. Okay? And when we say that it is consonant, for example, учить, to learn, to study, after consonant you have to write u, я учу. But it is not always. Sometimes it is possible to change this ending, so it is just basic rule, but there are some exceptions. Okay? Like the verb говорю. Here it is consonant, we have to write u, but we write u. So it is just general rule. It helps a lot, but not always. So be ready for this. Okay, let's practice with you. Here you can see verbs, but you cannot see pronouns. Your task right now to write the correct pronoun. Depends on the ending, yeah? So endings can help you to understand what pronoun you have to write down. So, as always, you have to pause this video, and after we will check it. Okay. I hope that you have already done this exercise. Let's discuss. Мы работаем. Ты слушаешь. The next, слушать. It is tricky because it is infinitive, so you cannot write any pronoun. If you didn't try it, you were right. The next, вы понимаете. Они читают. Они говорят. Вы говорите. Я знаю. So, if you made some mistakes, you have to back to the previous video and rewatch this video to check the endings. Yeah, as I said, your task to learn all these endings, and in this case it will be easier to conjugate verbs for you. Right now we speak about present tense, so all these verbs in present. Okay, and the next exercise. Here you have sentences, and in these brackets you see verbs in infinitive. I remind you, infinitive, it is a verb that has ending t. In English you have to before a verb to read, to smoke, to learn, to teach. In Russian we have it in the verb, and it is like kind of suffix, I would say. Yeah, so говорить, понимать, делать, so t. And your task, open the brackets and put verbs in the correct form. So, as always, you already know this task. You have to pause this video, and after we will discuss it and check your answers. Okay, I hope that you have already done this. Let's check. Я говорю по-английски. Ты понимаешь меня? Что они делают? Что ты готовишь сейчас? Ты смотришь фильм? Let's discuss why here we have to put such endings. So the first sentence, я говорю по-английски. The verb говорить is infinitive. I show you the previous slide. So ending it is the second group of conjugation, and we have to write you here. But again, you have just to remember, because normally after consonant we write u, but here it will be you. Я говорю по-английски. No, it's like this. The next, ты понимаешь меня? So понимать ends on at. Понимать. I show you again. Понимать. Понимать, is it the first or the second group? The first group. So you have to write ending ешь. Понимаешь меня. Do you understand me? Ты понимаешь меня? Okay, the next. Что они делают? Here the verb делать. Делать. Ending at again. Ending at shows for us that this is the first group of conjugation, and you have to conjugate verb like the first group. So делают. Делают. Что они делают? What are they doing? Or what do they do? Что ты готовишь сейчас? Что ты готовишь сейчас? Let's back to the previous. Что ты готовить? Готовить ends on it. So it's like говорить. It is the second group, and you have to write ending ish. What are you cooking right now? What are you preparing right now? And the last one, что ты смотришь? Oh, I'm sorry. Ты смотришь фильм? Ты смотришь фильм? So, смотреть has ending yet. Is it the first or the second group? So normally it should be the first group of conjugation, but it is exception. So you have to conjugate it like the second group of conjugation. Ты смотришь фильм? Are you watching a film? So guys, I hope that this video was really helpful for you. So in this case, I really happy to help you today. You also will watch new videos soon for beginners and for elementary level. And if you have some questions, you can also write down under this video. And if you're interested in personal or pair lessons, I have some available spots, so you are welcome too. See you next video. Bye bye. Пока.